Madam, you can proceed, madam.
We can open and use it. Let us start.
Okay, madam. Okay, you can proceed, madam.
Only 8 people are there. Let us wait or we'll start. It is up to you people only. I have given more than 15 minutes time to all.
Hello.
Okay, in this particular class, I'm going to talk about air pollution and control technologies only. In that, air pollution laws and the standards are there. Because if we wanted to make some project, conduct some project and get the finance, and we have to send the reports to the respective department, there is a rule how to do, what to do. Many people might be knowing that for water quality analysis, water quality standards are available. The water quality standards, they have considered the physical, chemical, and biological parameters. Those physical, chemical, biological parameter analysis is for each parameter, there is a respective procedure or protocols are available to find out the or to characterize the water. Hello, am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let us start or we'll wait?
We can start, madam. They will join.
Already started. So like that for air pollution also, there is a rules regulation, there is a policy to conduct the studies.
Again, your voice is not audible, ma'am. Your voice is not audible, ma'am.
From the WhatsApp, I have already forwarded the slides through WhatsApp. You people can, I have already forwarded the slides through WhatsApp. You people can open up and use. Got
okay,
it?
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
If anyone can share also, you please do the sharing, slide sharing. Now, in this particular class, I told you that I'm going to talk about that air pollution related laws and standards. What are the standards are available? What are the laws are available? And there are many rules and regulations for each and every department. Even if you take, roadways rules, if you take, mean they have the rules and regulation and policies. Like if you travel means there is a rules and regulation and policies, but we are not following, that is different. It does not mean that it is not available. So like that for this in the air pollution also there is a rules and regulation, and for each and everything respective laws and amendment and standards, policies are available. Those will be helpful and useful for conducting any project and conducting any studies and giving the reports. And based on that, what kind of decision we have to take for controlling the air pollution and maintaining the standards. So that is the reason for each and every things, not only in India, throughout the world, the people have framed the laws and standards and policies. So what are the laws and standards available for this air pollution? We'll see. Actually, over the years, together with the spreading of environmental consciousness and it is keep on increasing, and it became like a part of life. And traditionally, they have followed some of the rules and regulations to maintain the quality of life and and economic growth. As well as people have grown to believe to that, we need to have some of the things to maintain the quality of life, which needs for our, it is essential for our life. So the current focus on environment is not new. It is from before our independence. It became like an integral part of our Indian culture to maintain the environmental quality. Because if we are not maintaining means, which reflects in different ways, which affect the entire ecosystem. If it is affected means, it will be affecting our natural resources and Indian scriptures and many constitutional legislative policy framework. Many things have been promoted and developed in the country for maintaining our environmental concern. Otherwise, we can say to our heritage. In 1948, the Factors Act, an amendment in 1987, was the first to express concern for the working environment of workers. And the amendment of 1987 has sharpened its environmental focus and expanded its application to hazardous process. Actually, many things are there, but only few things people have considered, and many things are not able to follow. Because in India, the Ministry of Environment and Forest have notified that the act called Air Act, that is only for prevention and control of air pollution, acted in 1981, which is applicable for all over India and also to all in union territories of the India, which discuss the various section of accounts for this, which agency concerned to the unit in the central government, state government, pollution control board, and everything. Regulatory status of India. What are the regulatory status related to the air pollution in India? We'll see. In Stockholm Conference, it has happened in 1972. In that conference, human and environmental policy they framed. From the conference, they have set up the National Council for Environmental Policy and Planning within the Department of Science and Technology in the same year. And later, it is actually Stockholm Conference, which is happening in 1972. The main agenda of that is we have to develop the framework for environmental protection, and which bringing out about the well-developed framework how to create the awareness, consciousness among the society to protect the environment. That was the concept. And continuation of that Stockholm Conference, in the same year in India, they have set up the National Council for Environmental Policy and Planning within the Department of Science and Technology. After that, in 1985, in India, they have developed the full-fledged ministry that is called Ministry of Environment and Forest, which is regulating and ensuring the environmental protection. India, one important information I am giving you all, India is only the country which has the full-fledged separate Ministry for Environment and Forest. No other country has. Through the 42nd Amendment, in Constitution sanction was given to the environmental concern, which incorporate them into the directive principle of state policy and fundamental rights and duties, which is responsible towards the environmental protection. And after that, Stockholm Conference in 1976, which constitutional sanction was given to the environmental concern, which incorporated them into the directive principle of the state policy and fundamental rights and duties, how to regulate and protect the environment. Since 1970s, the extensive work of environmental legislation has growth in the country, and this Ministry of Environment and Forest has developed the pollution control boards, that is Central Pollution Control Board and the State Pollution Control Board, together form the regulatory and administrative core of the sector nowadays. A policy framework also have been developed, especially to complement the legislative provision. The policy statement for abatement of pollution and the national conservation strategy and the policy statement on environmental development brought out by the Ministry of Environmental Conference in Forest in 1992. Specifically, this is for develop and promote initiative for the protection and the improvement of the environment. Through that only the people have promoted the environmental related projects to control the pollutions. And the EAP means Environmental Protection Action Program, which is formulated in the year 1993 with the objective of improving environmental services and integrating environmental consideration into development program. So which is nothing but giving the project to the Institute Research Center to protect the environment. After that, environmental protection rules, how they have framed, that is started from 1986. Actually, the rules laid out, this is something more, but it is very important. It is very important unit. From this, 1 or 2 questions will come. If people listen me carefully, if you have any doubt, please you can ask me. The rules which lay down the procedure specifically setting standards of emission of discharge of environmental pollutant. So here in this category only or in this stage only, the Environmental Protection Rules 1986, the people have set up the standards for emissions. These rules also prescribe the parameter for the central government under which can issue orders of prohibition and restriction on the location and operation of industries in different areas. Actually, people have started small industries within the city also. After framing this 1986 rules, there is a rules. They have issued the order prohibiting and restricting the location and operation of industry in different areas. Urban area means how, rural area means how, semi-urban means how, agriculture area, like that the people have framed the rules for that. And also, these rules also lay down the procedure for taking the sample, how to take the sample for analysis, and serving the notice, submitting the sample for analysis, and developing the laboratory reports. All these things is being covered in this rule only. The function of the laboratories are also described under the same rule, along with the qualification of the concerned analysis, because anyone can do analysis, but with the specified qualified people only can be do the analysis. Those things also is being framed in this particular rule. Next one is very important thing, Air Act 1981. This is also framed for prevention and the control of air pollution. To encounter the pollution control or the problem associated with air pollution, ambient air quality standards were established under the Act 1981. This Act provides the means for the control and abatement of air pollution only. The Act seeks to combat air pollution by prohibiting the use of pollution fuel and substances, as well as by regulating appliances that gives rise to the air pollution into the environment. Under this Act, which establishes or operate any industrial plant in the pollution control area which requires consent from the State Pollution Control Board, then only the people can operate it. The State Pollution Control Board are also expected to test the air pollution control areas and inspect the pollution control equipment and manufacturing process. Those kind of responsibility they have given to the State Pollution Control Board. Then very important thing, National Ambient Air Quality Standards. What is meant by National Ambient Air Quality Standard? Actually, this is the standard which prescribes how to do the sampling, how to do the analysis, how to maintain the quality. Everything is being framed under the National Ambient Air Quality Standard, especially for major pollutant, were notified by the Central Pollution Control Board in the year 1994 in the month of April. They are deemed specifically to the levels of air quality necessary with an adequate margin of safety, which protect the public health, vegetation, and the property. This National Ambient Air Quality prescribes a specific standard for industry, or a separate standard for industrial, residential, rural, and other sensitive areas. Industry-specific emission standards also have been developed for iron and steel plants, cement plants, fertilizer plant, oil refineries, and aluminum industry. All those industries are highly polluted, pollution created industries, for those industry specific standards people have derived, that is pollution control people have been derived. And the ambient quality standard prescribed in India are similar to those prevailing in many developed and developing countries also. Whatever the national ambient quality standards developed by Indian Central Pollution Control Board is being applicable and agreed by the national all developing and developed countries also. The same method only till date people are adapting for the analysis and comparing on the standards of air pollution. And also to empower the central and the state pollution control board
Voice is not audible, madam. Voice is not audible, madam.
ఎవరితో మాట్లాడకముందు అది నా వల్ల కాదు ఇది నా వల్ల కాదు అనడం మానే అని చెప్పి ఆదివారం రోజు అన్న తర్వాత సోమవారం ఏం చేసిన సోమవారం మళ్ళా
Now can you hear? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, madam.
If people have to respond, no, I am keep on talking, no one is responding.
You are
Whether
saying,
you
madam,
could able to hear me or not, I am unable to understand.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't know. Yeah, it is really not looking good because whatever the unit I am teaching now, it may be little bored, but it is very, very important unit. From this, 1 or 2 questions compulsory will come.
you're
My
trying
concern
this.
is whatever I am teaching from that, whatever possible questions are there, I will tell you. But you people have to be clever to get it. If you are not doing like this, it is a loss for you only, not for me. Okay, up to what you, where you people have heard, tell me. Hello? Have you heard about National Ambient Air Quality Standards when you have explained?
No, ma'am. Just you have started about
Hello?
air quality standards. Hello?
Have you heard me when I was explaining about the National Ambient Air Quality Standards?
No, ma'am. Just you have started, madam.
No, your voice is not audible to me.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, when I have explained National Ambient Air Quality Standard, up to that you people have heard, or till what you have heard?
Just you have started on that. Up to that point, you have listened.
Up to what, sir? National Ambient Air Quality.
Yes, ma'am. You just
Okay.
you have started. After that, it was disconnected.
Okay, let me explain again about the National Ambient Air Quality. This environmental protection rules, Stockholm, Ministry of Environmental Forest, those things and all you people have heard.
Yes, you have covered, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, then I will talk about this National Ambient Quality Standard again. Actually, we are so good in that particular aspect, Indian people. Indian people, especially Central Pollution Control people, they have framed some standard that is called National Ambient Air Quality Standard, NAAQS, for major pollutant. Were notified by the Central Pollution Control in the year 1994 in the month of April. Actually, these are deemed to be the level of air quality necessary with an adequate margin of safety, which is supposed to protect public health, vegetation, and property. This National Ambient Air Quality Standard prescribed a specific standard for industries, residential area, rural area, and other sensitive area like specific industrial emission standards have been developed for iron and steel industries, cement industry, fertilizer industries, oil refineries, and aluminum industry, because those industries are very sensitive industry and also which creates or releases more pollutant to the atmosphere. So specific standard people have created and developed. The advantage of this ambient air quality standard, which has been developed by India's Central Pollution Control Board, which are similar to those prevailing in many developed and developing countries. So whatever the model we have or standard we have, that is not only applicable for India, it will be applicable for all developing and developing countries also. Till date, people are following the same thing. This is mainly for to encounter the problem associated with air pollution, and ambient air quality standards were established under the Act of 1981 Act. This Act provides the control of and abatement of air pollution. It mainly seeks to combat air pollution by prohibiting the use of pollution-creating fuels, especially, and also the substances which are all releasing the pollutant to the atmosphere, as well as by regulating the appliances. That whatever the appliances people are using in power plants and industries, those have to be regulated uniformly. That gives rise into the air pollution. Under this Act, which establishing and operating of any industrial plant in the pollution control area, which requires consent from the State Pollution Control Board from the respective states, And these boards are also expected to test air in air pollution control areas, which inspect pollution control equipments regularly and the manufacturing process periodically. Like that, the frame or the act covers are prescribed for national ambient air pollution control. And also on further, to empower the central and pollution, the state and central pollution control board to meet the grave emergencies, another act they have developed in the year 1987, that is called Air Amendment Act 1987. This is also for prevention and the control of pollution. The boards, that is Central Pollution and the State Pollution Control Board, which authorized to take the immediate measure to tackle such emergencies and recover the expenses incurred from the offenders. This is very important. To power the and they have the power to cancel the consent for non-fulfillment. That means the license. They are having the power to cancel the license also under this act. And followed by this, the air rules they have developed in the year 1983. This air rules, this is also for prevention and control of pollution, which defines especially for procedure for conducting the meeting of the boards, that is for central pollution, both the state pollution control boards, and the power of the preceding officers, whatever how much power they are having, the officers, decision making, the quorum, in manner in which the records of the meeting were to be set, etc., is being framed in the air rules 1982. In that rule, it is also prescribed the manner and the purpose of seeking assistance from the specialist and how much pay they are supposed to pay to them. Everything is framed in that rule. And again, many for important things, complementing the above acts, that is Air Act, Air Rules, Air Amendment, many things are there now. Addition to that or complementing to that, again the people have developed some new rule for motor vehicles and atomic energy. For atomic energy, they have called, that is called Atomic Energy Act 1982, which was introduced to deal with the radioactive waste, how it is, how should be, how it should not be, like that it is covered. In 1988, the Motor Vehicle Act was enacted to regulate the vehicular traffic, besides ensuring proper packing, labeling, and the transportation of hazardous waste. And also, various aspects of vehicular pollution have also been notified under the EP Environmental Protection Agency of 1986, and which also include in the year 1990, mass emission standards were notified, which were made more stringent to 1986 rule what they made it. In 2000, these stands, whatever the standards are there, that is being revised in 2000, and the revised rule standards only still people are using, and they have first time separate the obligation for vehicle owners, manufacturers, and the enforcing agency were stipulated for this purpose. In addition, fairly stringent Euro 1 and Euro 2 emission norms were notified by the Supreme Court on April 29, 1999 for the city of Delhi. The notification made it mandatory for car manufacturers to conform to the Euro 1, Euro 2 norms by 1999 and April 2000 respectively by Supreme Court. For new commercial vehicles sold in Delhi, it's supposed to be fulfilled, like that they made the standards. Actually, consent form, that once they wanted to get the license means they have to fulfill some of the things under the Act for Prevention and Control of Pollution 1981, which covers to bring into the use or new altered stack for the discharge of emission, or to begin to new discharge of emission, or to continue to discharge the emission from stack industry, which is owned by the owner. They have to write the owner's name in that form. In this form, they have to get the signature. This is called consent form. The consent means license form. The license has to be approved, which included many things, all basic information, along with what are the liquid waste and discharges, what are the solid waste and discharges, what are the hazardous waste and discharges, and what are the how the stacks are available. Stacks means it is chimney. how they are controlling everything. It is covered in that acts. So in this, first they have to use the code number. They will use separate code for each and every type of industry, which category it comes under. Whether the unit situated in a critically polluted area as identified the Ministry of Environmental and Forest or not, they have to give the information on it. This is these two information is filled up by the office people, and the rest of the information will be filled up by the applicant. That name of the owner or occupier, name and address, where the unit is located or industry is located, whether the unit is generating any type of hazardous waste. The hazardous waste is being under the category of management handling rules 1989 or not. If the category yes means what type, total capital investment how much, year of convention of production is how much, whether the industry works one shift, two shift or round the clock. That means they can estimate how much pollutant they are creating. List of quantum of product and byproduct, raw material used how much, and a flow diagram of manufacturing process showing input and output in terms of product and waste generated, including the captive power generation and the demineralized water usage and the generation. Pertaining the wastage, effluent and the sewage. In this category, how much cooling water they are using, the water usage for cooling how much, process how much, domestic use how much, for other purpose how much. In terms of sewage and the effluent discharge, total quantum discharge, that is meter cube per day, how much per day, per process, per section. Is there any effluent treatment plant or not? If yes, a brief description of unit operation with the capacity. And then characterization of final effluent, what is the pH, what is the suspended solid content, what is the dissolved solid content, what is the chemical oxygen demand, what is the biological oxygen demand, oil and grease is how much in that, additional parameters as prescribed by the concerned pollution control board, anything it is there, they have to include, mode of disposal and final discharge point, how is it, parameter and the frequency of self-monitoring, how frequently they are doing. And pertaining to the stack and the vent emission, they have to give how many numbers of stacks and vents are there, what is the height and diameter, quality and quantity of stack emission from each of the above stacks, particulate matter is how much, sulfur dioxide is how much, which is being prescribed by the pollution control board within the norms or not, and the pollution control unit, how it is being worked and how it is dealing with the emission, parameter and frequency of self-monitor, how frequently and what are the parameters they are doing testing, all those things they have to include in that application. Pertaining to the hazardous waste and hazardous chemicals, when it comes into the picture, total quantity of generation is how much, and the quantum of hazard is, any doubt? Any doubt? How much hazardous waste is there? How much is there any disposable method they are following, which is being prescribed by the pollution control board? And whether that storage of hazardous material is taking isolated area or not, whether any emergency plans are prepared for taking or not, on-site or off-site, all the information we have to provide it to the office. From that, it will be agreed. That is very important for getting the license. So this is being framed during the year 1999 and 2000. 1999 April and 2000, 1999 May and April 2000 they have framed. So all this will be fulfilled. Then only they have connected for this. Please mute yourself, otherwise I will do. And next one is nation.
Somebody cross talking.
Yes, you people I can say, otherwise it will disturb for the people, really those who are listening. So this is the concern or license form they have to submit after developing all the Air Act, Amendment, Air Act rules only. So this form has to be fulfilled for getting the license. If there is no sufficient information then the license will not be held. That is the rules framed by the Air Act Rules 1982. Then we'll talk about the National Ambient Air Quality Standard. Why they have made it, how that is being used. This is very important question. Sometimes people will ask what is meant by national NAAQ or National Ambient Air Quality Standards, which is framed especially for the levels of air quality necessary with an adequate margin of safety to protect the public health, vegetation, and property. Wherever, whenever two consecutive values exceeds the limit specified by or specified above for the respective category, it would be considered adequate reason to institute regular or continuous monitoring, and further investigation is needed, which will be done by a state government or state board, shall notify the sensitive and other areas in the respective states within the period of 6 months from the date of notification of National Ambient Air Quality Standards. If they are not fulfilling, they will cancel the consent form. The Central Pollution Control Board, in the exercise of power conference and section 16(2) of the Air Act 1981, this is also for prevention and control of pollution. And 1984 notified the National Ambient Quality Standard. They have some of the values in your book. The people can compare and we can find out that at last what they are telling that the Central Pollution Control Board has taken up the task of measuring the value of air pollution at various locations across the country. The board on a regular basis, they publish some of the results. A few of that presented in next few pages, we will discuss about how the ambient air quality in some of the places, especially in Kanpur area, how it is varied periodically, we will see. Next one is ambient air quality in few stations across the country. This is very, very important information. You people just observe it, and after 10-15 years, how the Hyderabad could be, we can imagine from this. Actually, ambient air quality monitoring conducted at a different location for a period 24 hours in Delhi. From that monitoring, it is understood that the suspended particulate matter and the respirable suspended particulate matter, that is RSPM, and the carbon monoxide are in high concentration in all the monitoring stations in Delhi. But what will happen? That the sulfur dioxide concentration is only within the prescribed limit, but and also nitrogen oxide also within the limit, and other pollutant are all in all the study station which is above the limit. They have told, they expressed that in some of the site the sulfur dioxide is more, and in some of the sites sulfur dioxide is more. The values of nitrogen dioxide exceeded in some of the place, and between the time 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. because that is the peak hours, peak traffic hours. Ambient noise level also recorded in this, which is also higher than the limit during the peak traffic hours. So overall, during the time of study, the Delhi pollution level is exceeded the prescribed level. In major station, they have selected around 15 or 20 sites. Continuously 24 hours they made the study. From the study, it is being revealed that the study revealed that the Delhi is totally polluted with all pollutant except the sulfur dioxide, because that time the people have used no sulfur content fuel. Next one is benzene monitoring in Delhi and Kanpur city. Actually, this Central Pollution Control Board have been monitored benzene in ambient air at 7 locations in Delhi. That includes residential area, industrial area, and commercial area. From the monitoring, the monthly average values at all the locations vary between 16 to 35 milligram per meter cube of air. Overall mean benzene concentration is being calculated from all the stations is around 26 microgram per cubic meter or meter cube. This is 1.6 times higher than the United Kingdom's annual running mean standard of 16 milligram per liter. So the value also exceeded the limit. The monthly average value of benzene in Kanpur, which varies from 7 to 41 microgram per meter cube of air. Overall mean benzene concentration for 4 location in Kanpur was calculated around 22 milligram per meter cube, which is 1.4 times more than the United Kingdom's annual running mean standard value, some call as Levels of benzopyrene in Delhi. How the benzopyrene level in Delhi they have monitored in the year 1997 to 1999, which also indicated that the area is highly polluted when compared to the annual average range. The measurements for benzopyrene is ambient air or particulate matter collected at 6 important locations in Delhi, which indicated that annual average range between 1 nanogram per meter cube to 5.3 nanogram per meter cube. The recommended standard for the concentration of benzopyrene in ambient air is around 10 nanogram per meter cube. The concentration of benzopyrene during winter season was generally higher as compared to monsoon and summer. Low concentration was recorded during summer, possibly due to the photooxidation and meteorological conditions favoring the dispersal of benzopyrene during the monsoon and the rain without this possible reaction for the low benzopyrene. And the next one is ambient noise level and air pollution during the Deepavali time, how it is changed. Ambient noise level monitoring was carried out at various locations in Delhi. That is, from that, they have understood that the ambient noise level were above the prescribed limits, but were slightly lower at a few locations as compared with the previous year's data. Ambient air quality monitoring was carried out in Delhi. That is, SO2 levels were higher in evening on Deepavali day and pre-Deepavali day. Yet oxides of nitrogen, the carbon monoxide level was observed lower on the Deepavali day and compared with the pre-Deepavali day. Anyone can tell me what is the reason behind that, why the level is changed? Hello? Anyone can tell?
Because of crackers.
Because why that is on Deepavali and pre-Deepavali day, the variation? Both the day cracked, and one day they cracked, and one day they have not cracked, like that?
Both days. Pre-Deepavali as well as on Deepavali.
Okay. No, they have given very clearly that sulfur dioxide concentration higher on the day of Deepavali day and pre-Deepavali day also. Similarly, that NOx CO also supposed to be there, no, but that is lower on the Deepavali day as compared to the pre-Deepavali day. Why?
We don't know, ma'am.
You don't know. So NOx and NOx will be formed when the temperature is more than 700, 600 degrees centigrade only, I told you in the class. Okay. And CO will be released when improper combustion is taking place only, I told you that also. So when during the Deepavali day, it is lower, but on the pre-Deepavali day is more, means the climate could be the matter which will be carrying out like this. Because of this climate factor only, we are talking about Delhi only till now. Climate factor only, the Delhi is getting more polluted. The dispersion level, the pollutant dispersion level in Delhi, please, somebody is disturbing too much.
1 minute, madam. Some Appo A13 is disturbing us. Appo A31.
Shall I do something? It won't look good. That's what I'm keeping quiet.
Yeah, he's not mute his speaker. Appo A31, please. Appo A31. I don't know his name.
Yeah, it is reflected like that. I understood.
Appo
please, you please don't disturb others now. Appo A31, who is that? A31?
Yes,
ma'am.
do
something, it won't
look good. Mute. I think you can remove him, ma'am.
No one is small, no, all are matured one. Should I do like this?
I think you can unmute everybody.
Yeah, let me do.
Please proceed, ma'am.
Yeah, why it is happening means Delhi is one of the pollutant city in India and also in the world. It is being considered like that. That's what nowadays the entire Indian government planned to use only CNG. There is no use of any other conventional fuels. Yeah, I think you may all aware of it. Now CNG based vehicle only running in Delhi. Yeah, unknowingly or illegally somebody may do something else. That is not a matter. The reason behind that, the latitude and longitude condition of location of Delhi and the climate factors are favored to store or stagnate all the pollutant in that environment. Because of that, or because of that location, because of that climatic change, whatever the pollutant is formed, it is stagnant there for quite a long time, which easily promotes the photochemical reaction during the summer that creates more pollutant in summer. And during the winter, the dispersion will not take place. That is also leads to more accumulation of more pollutant in winter. Any climates which favors to accumulate the pollutant in Delhi environment. Because of that reason, the people cannot tell the people to move from Delhi to somewhere else. It is not at all possible because it is capital. All central government organizations are there only. The people have to do the service from there only. But now what they can be done, they have decided, at last they have decided to come back to the use of the fuel which should not contain sulfur, and you should not should release less CO and MO. That's what they have suggested. Now almost all the engines they have converted into this CNG based engine, including buses, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, autos, everything they have converted. For them only this Euro 1, Euro 2 principle they have introduced. They have to strictly, not only by the manufacturer, even the buyers also, they have to fulfill with that Euro 1, Euro 2 before buying the vehicle. They have to sign and they have to agree the rules and regulations, then only they can get out the vehicle from there. So after that only these people, they have carried out what is the benzene content in the air. Benzene is very carcinogenic chemical. If we will expose to that chemical quite a long time, means which affect our intestine and eyes also. I think you may aware of all these things. This benzene usage in laboratory is already banned. If people are aware of it. If we want to buy means we can buy only laboratory grade, and with the license only we can get benzene. Benzene, yeah, benzene it is already banned. It is not available easily because it is highly carcinogenic in nature. Likewise, this benzopyrene also like this. So everywhere people are using crackers for Deepavali time. During the Deepavali time, earlier days the usage of crackers are less. Nowadays the usage of crackers are more. If that is the case, they are making many varieties in that. Many varieties means anyhow it is based on ammonium nitrate and ammonium sulfate based products only. Once it cracks, it releases lot of sulfur dioxide, lot of oxides of nitrogen into the atmosphere. If we check the pollution level in that particular day, pre-Deepavali day creates more pollution than the Deepavali day. People have assessed like that. The reason behind that, Deepavali day, people are spending time for something else. Pre-Deepavali day, they're spending more time to crack the crackers. That day, climate, how is it? Based on that, the impact is being reflected. If the climate is not good, not bright, the farming, actually there is no possibility to form the CO. But sometimes CO is forming means there is improper combustion is taking place. Because of that reason, only CO is accumulated in that working area. Similarly, SOx also. But according to the combustion phenomena and the crackers composition, there is a release of carbon monoxide. Should not be there. There must be the release of oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, and the carbon dioxide release must be there. And nowadays people are adding some colorful matter. Those coloring material may give some sort of phosphate gases into the atmosphere. So this could be the reason why the variation is there in that. And the next one is, people have monitored this particulate matter 10 also, that is called respirable suspended particulate matter. Especially this study made in Kanpur city by National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, and this project is being funded by World Bank. What they have done, why they have done, we'll see. Actually, this particulate matter 10 Ambient air quality monitor, they made to find out the status with reference to the
Devender, please mute your voice. Devender. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
I'm unable to mute.
Devender Burri. Devender Burri, please unmute. Please mute your voice. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So by the support of this World Bank, they have funded for conducting this study. This study made only to understand the status of particulate matter 10, which is nothing but respirable suspended particulate matter. The 10 means it is 10 micron size. Understand the status in that Kanpur city only. The monitoring is mainly for determine how the variation in suspended particulate matter and which also contain the sulfate in PM content, PM10. PM10 alone will be there, and PM along with the sulfate content also will be there, both together which affect the local area. That's what they wanted to do this study. This study made by National Environmental Engineering Research Institute in the year of 2000. It is being organized by the Central Pollution Control Board. And what they have done at last, in UP, the State Pollution Control Board people, they have monitored PM10, especially in 3 important stations at the same year, 2000. The frequency of monitoring they have done twice in a month, and they plan to do only 3 parameters. One is RSPM, that is PM10, sulfur dioxide, and sulfate, which is associated with PM10. The maximum minimum value they have recorded, the values of sulfur dioxide are within the limit, but PM10 is exceed the limit, and the sulfate, which is also linked with the PM10, is also exceeded the limit. Why they could not find out the reason? Because the city where the sites they have selected for this study, there is no industrial activity. There is a commercial activities only. But even then, the limit is more than means they found that only transportation or automobiles are responsible for the release of these particles. They have concluded like this. Then they gave the report to the Central Pollution Control Board. They have insisted to use, restricted to use coal-based material in that area. This was happened in the year 2000. And followed by this, quality assurance and air quality measurement. This is very important. You can check the old question paper. Without this question, you cannot find out. Sometimes they may ask the question, what is meant by air quality index? Air quality index, if you want to study, means this air quality assurance and measurement you should know. What is that? We'll see now. By Central Pollution Control Board, they set up a dynamic dilution system that is called a ring test facility, which produces a gas mixture of any desired concentration and composition. Because for analyzing anything, we should have the standard. For example, you are using soap. We are thinking that the soap quality, all the soap qualities are good. That's what we are buying and using it. This is not the fact. The soap quality and the concentration and may be varied and sometimes and it may not be varied, because everything it is ingredients people are adding, mixing and doing some process and making the cake, drying and packing and sending. And each composition, it is being written on the soap, it is being checked periodically or regularly. They are monitoring in that way, it is good. For example, you take a fatty acid concentration is around 10%, they are giving in. What are the fatty acids? Exactly 10 or not, we should compare with the original product, that is called a standard. Nothing else. Whatever the pharma products there, you are buying some syrup. In that syrup, they have written composition. This is that much percent, 5%, 10%, 4 or 5 components are then each and everything, how much are available, they have written. How they found out it? For each and every component, they should use the 100% or known percentage concentrated product. With that, they will compare and find out that in this particular medicine contain this much percentage of this particular component. For air, how they will do? Is it possible? You suppose from one industry, it releases carbon dioxide. How much carbon dioxide, what percentage of carbon dioxide released, how they could find out? 100% is pure carbon dioxide cylinder we need, oxygen we need, nitrogen we need, everything we need. And doing this sampling of air is also very difficult. Water sampling, we can go and take the water from sewage, any industry, we take it and do the analysis. It is very easy. How to do this air sampling? We are saying that automobile release or automobile exhausts are giving more pollutant. How you will do the sample? Can you take the exhaust of one particular vehicle and do the analysis? That is vehicle exhaust analysis. It is not air quality analysis. Air quality analysis means whatever the pollutant are released from the vehicle, after it is mixing into the air in a concentrated traffic area and non-concentrated traffic area and medium concentrated traffic area, they have to collect the sample periodically, not one time. Either it may be continuously 24 hours or it may be periodically 6-hour gaps, 8-hour gaps, or peak hours or non-peak hours. Like that, they have to collect the sample, they store it, then they analyze it, then they will compare with the standards. Each and everyone one by one doing it, it takes time taken. To avoid that only, this Central Pollution Control Board, people, they have set up a dynamic dilution system. In this, 5 different gases of different concentration can be mixed and used for the analysis. It can be used as a standard. The primary objective of developing of this dynamic dilution system is specifically to conduct the quality assurance program for participating laboratories as well as to calibrate the continuous monitoring analysis. It is very, very important. It is not a simple job. Really, it is quite a difficult job to carry out this. And the participant in the quality assurance program is supposed to help the laboratory in achieving the compatibility of the result and to validation and the compatibility of the result is very, very important in analyzing aspects. The method is being adapted for the measurements. This Central Pollution Control Board have conducting the quality assurance program for State Pollution Control Board since 1991. These people are giving the training continuously, regularly, and the trained people only are adopting the things to be used in the state level industries, factories, commercial activities, even hotels, institutes, hostels, etc. Many there, whatever the emissions are there, from that only the people are following the same techniques. And the next one is level of respirable suspended particulate matter in some of the cities, like that is specifically they have selected in south, and if you are from the north, they have selected Visakhapatnam, Cochin, Mumbai, and Chennai. All these 4 sites they have selected in the year of 1999 and 2000. How the concentration was, they have reported, we'll see. Actually, for the testing RSPM, that is respirable suspended particulate matter levels in residential and industrial area, they have selected. And because from this study, what they are telling, the level exceeded limit in industrial area, all the industrial area, and except Visakhapatnam, Cochin, Mumbai, and Chennai, the respirable suspended particulate matter violated 24 hours hourly average standard at all the monitoring locations except in the city. So this level in industrial area, it is exceeded the residential area. That's what they wanted to tell. And they have chosen many cities, and that the cities values, whatever the 4 cities I said, that is compared with the Delhi. Delhi value is more than the remaining 4 cities value. And in that also some of the specific area, that is BS at Mark, and that is the main place in Delhi, I think so, but I'm not sure. In 1998, 99, 2000, 3 years continuously, they have done the RSPM level in BS mark. They said in that residential area also the level is exceeded the limit. And since the sampling of 24 in a day, which is not possible, And because the sampling is being reduced from 24 to 16 hours due to the problem of power failure and other problem in the location, and the target frequency monitoring is twice a week, totally 104 days in a year, which could not be met due to the local problem. And they have done the study for 40 days in a year and consider the adequate for the purpose of data analysis. Based on that, they have reported the RSPM level in 98, 99, 2000 in Delhi was almost in same, except in 1999. There the limit in all the station, all the year the limit is exceeded. But in one particular year, 1999, the limit was, the level is more. For that, they have given the reason that year the rainfall might be less. So if the rainfall is there, whatever the deposited particle, it will be washed out by rainwater. If it is not happening, means the accumulated RSPM on the trees, plants, buildings, things, materials, everywhere, sculptures, everywhere it will be deposited. So once we are doing that study, the quantity is indicated that everywhere, all the time, the limit is exceeded. And followed by that, what is the trend of sulfur dioxide in Delhi? Actually, they have followed the annual mean concentration method. The annual mean concentration of sulfur dioxide in particular place of Delhi, which is indicated that it is almost exceeded the limit during all the years. And after some time, this sulfur dioxide is started decreasing. What could be the reason? Anyone can tell me? The sulfur dioxide concentration in Delhi was high. That's what people have introduced something I said. Like here I'm asking the question, the sulfur dioxide, initially the sulfur dioxide concentration was high and periodically it started reducing. Why? What could be the reason behind that?
Initially because of vehicular pollution, ma'am. I think because of using CNG, now it is reduced.
Yeah, that's what we have to say. Earlier days, people have used sulfur-based fuel. That they have stopped using sulfur-based. They jumped into or shifted or moved into CNG-based. Good, very good. That could be the reason for reducing the sulfur dioxide content in the air. And the next one is very important thing I am going to tell, that is called air quality index. This question will come, you check your old question paper. Without this question, you can't see any question paper. What is meant by air quality index? Actually, this is a dose response relationship concept which is introduced for identifying or giving the information or a report to the concerned people how the pollution level. That is called air quality index, which has been developed based on the dose response relationship of various pollutants. A minimum number of 3 pollutant parameters, that is suspended particulate matter, sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen, are essential to calculate the air quality index. Any additional information on other pollutants such as respirable particulate matter, that is called PM10, carbon monoxide and ozone are included to calculate based on the conclusive and complete value of air quality index. For that, they have divided the pollution level in 5 categories. The developed index is classified in 5 categories, that is good, moderate, poor, very poor, and severe. Good means the level is being 0 to 100. Moderates mean the level is between 101 to 200. Poor means it is between 201 to 300. Very poor means 301 to 400. And severe polluted means 401 to 500. This would provide for the measurement of air quality index for a particular area and particular time. From that, what category, either it is A, B, C, D, in 5 categories, which category it belongs. Based on that, the State Pollution Control Board as well as Central Pollution Control Board people will take a decision what kind of monitoring and what kind of assessment and what kind of restriction they have to given based on the whatever the Air Act rules, Air Act amendment, Air Act statement Based on what it will be adapted, they have to do. They do the studies continuously for the 6 months. Still, the level is exceeding the prescribed limit, means they will have to monitor the stocks, pollution intensive equipments, operating procedure, operating techniques. Everywhere they will check. Anything can be modified to reduce the pollution level or not. They will check and proceed. If nothing is possible, mean they will close the industries. It happened in many industries, like tannery industries in India, especially in South India. Before our independence was severe and more. Nowadays, there is no such industries in that area. You people might would have been heard. Tannery industries are highly pollution created industries which affect the local groundwater level in such a way that it could not be recovered back. In such a situation, they have carried out this kind of mentioned type of testing or studies continuously for 1 or 2, 3 years. Nothing would be recovered, nothing would be stopped, nothing would be reduced. And then they have closed all the tanning industries. So it is possible for all the industries if they are not meeting the limit. But nowadays, openly I am telling, if the limits are there, if it exceeds the limits also, if the concerned department are not giving importance to control it by supporting the industries, it will affect the environment only, not affect the industries. So anybody in your class, if they are working in the concerned department, people try to do something to reduce the pollution level. Now the climate is good, environment is good, we are surveying. Still we are not happily surveyed, because if you are roaming continuously every day in Hyderabad city for many years, means you may get one or other things. That is true. Because it is okay now, moderate climate, moderate environment quality we are living. We just think about our forthcoming generation after 50 years or 100 years. How could be the environment? We cannot imagine. If it goes in the same direction, same number of vehicles, same number of automobiles, where it will meet, how it will meet, where it goes, none of us can identify. So each and every one of us are having some responsibility to reduce the pollutant level in the atmosphere. At least for small distance, wherever the public transport people can use, try to use it. It is not an order, it is a request, because we are all from the same department called the Environmental Civic Department. If others are not taking care or not, doesn't matter to protect the environment, at least we should be responsible to save our environment. That's all. The unit is over. I'm winding up the class. If you people have any class means, any doubt means, you can ask me. You can clarify. I'm here. This is one of the important units. Air quality index, the question is important. So it may be something looking like a story, but each and everything is very important if you are working in the same department. Any question?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, time is 2:53.
Yes, ma'am.
If anything you want to discuss about the subject means, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will write. And we no need to stop it. The university people will stop it. Next week you have class or not? You people have had any sort of communication from the university, because your practical classes are started, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. From 23rd onwards, we have practical classes.
So 23rd and 24th, we have theory class also. How it will be? How it could be?
That we don't know, ma'am. That was the schedule given by.
Yeah, no, I didn't get any notification. I have to contact the you people may get or not. I don't know.
The schedule has been displayed in the website, madam. Practical classes schedule.
Yes.
But I don't know about
this
this class.
In WhatsApp also, in group also they have posted.
Yes, ma'am.
And again, this will be postponed, means many times it is postponed this year, this theory class. Continuously we didn't have it. Okay, anyhow, it is a request. You may know my WhatsApp number. If people have any doubt, email my mobile number also. At any time you can contact me if you have doubt on the subject.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Any one of you are working in pollution control board? In your classroom? I think after practical class only you may come to know that, because all people will come that time.
Yes, ma'am. I think at that time we can know.
Okay, thanks to every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.